How are geopolitics and the trade war redrawing the global trade map? So here's the way I would frame this. Firms are not deglobalizing, but globalization is taking a new shape. And to understand what that means, we need to separate causes from consequences. At the heart of it, two things are hitting simultaneously. Firms have been taking a step away from China as a production base, and this is not just Western firms, also Chinese ones. Chinese investment intentions have dropped by 28 percentage points in a single year in our data. In parallel, the US market is becoming harder to access, mainly due to the higher tariffs and the trade war. So the consequences are new routes, players, and reshoring walls. So what are these pressures causing? First, a new trade map taking shape. The old arteries going from China to Europe, from China to the US are thinning. And what is replacing them? Vietnam, ASEAN, Turkey, North Africa, Mexico, these are becoming extensions of the routes, either as logistic hubs or new manufacturing regional hubs. The second consequence of this new global trade map is a massive reshoring push. But this is not an easy active thing. 70% of firms have already taken active steps, such as new suppliers, market diversification, front-loading. Yet, more than 80% also point to domestic suppliers' ecosystem gaps as a number one hurdle. And why is that? Well, 40 years of offshoring cannot reverse overnight. We are looking at a decade-long transition, not just a sudden shift. Of course, the latest geopolitical shock, the Iran war, is making underlying trends quicker. European reshoring urgency jumped sharply post-war, especially in Poland, Ukraine, and France. What it happens too is that it raises the geopolitical premium stability. Firms are not only asking what is efficient, but also what is stable. That is driving also a new FTA architecture. The EU and India, EU, Mercosur, Indo-Pacific frameworks, and our firms are reading them and using them to decide where to put the next factory. So the map is being redrawn from one factory to new industrial hubs, from a new trade route to many more, looking for resilience rather than efficiency.